Welcome back. Some unpredictable games tonight. Very much unpredictable. The Vancouver Canucks set a record tonight. So yeah, there's some interesting results around the NHL. Let's go ahead and jump right in first with Carolina and Buffalo. Kochetkov versus Reimer. Early press by the Sabres. Zucker has a chance that's held. Shots are 4-1 Buffalo at 4 minutes. Sabres press 5 minutes in. Teams trade rushes. The Canes get some pressure halfway through. Benson has a rush chance that's saved. Quinn misses the net via a 2-on-1 rush. Hall then has a rush chance that's caught and held. We get a power play for Carolina. That becomes 4-on-4. Everything's killed off there. The Canes press in the final minute. However, we have no score after the first. Second period. 132 in. Tage Thompson unassisted. Makes it 1-0 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres look for another. The Canes press at 6.5 minutes. Shots are 3-1 Buffalo at 7 minutes. Buffalo played really well defensively against Carolina tonight. I think the shot totals at the end do favor Carolina because it's how Carolina is, but I thought the Sabres defense tonight was on point. Canes press are kept to the outside. We get a power play for Carolina. That's killed off. Shots are 9-3 Carolina with 5 minutes left. Canes go back to the power play, and Buffalo scores on it at 16:45 with a fantastic deke in close. On a fast break, Tuck scores from Byram and McLeod, and then the Sabres finish the kill. So Buffalo's up 2-0 after 2 periods of play. Third period, there's an early press by the Sabres. They're kept to the outside, and then at 1:56, it's Peterka, making it 3-0. Jack Quinn with the assist. Shots are 2 apiece at 3.5 minutes. We get a power play for Buffalo. That's killed off. Things get pushy on a hold by Kochetkov. The Canes press with 7.5 minutes left. We get a crossbar for Jost. Shots are 11-7 Carolina with 5.5 minutes left. Malenstein has a screenshot that goes wide. And honestly, Sabres defense and goaltending was on point. 3-0 win for Buffalo. They go to 35-36-6 with the win. With the loss, Carolina 46-27-4. Shots on net did favor Carolina the whole way. 12-5 in the first, 9-5 in the second, 12-8 in the third. Final shots 33-18 Carolina. Power plays, the Canes 0 for 3, Buffalo 0 for 2. The hits 22-12 for Buffalo. Kochetkov saved 15 out of 18. Reimer saved all 33 shots. So, yeah, shutout for Reimer. All right, moving along. Detroit and Montreal. So this is a huge game for Detroit, and they played like it early on. Talbot versus Montembeault. Things get pushy on a hold by Montembeault. Shots are 4-1 Detroit, and we're only 3 minutes in. The Habs press at 6.5 minutes. Soderblom's then denied and close. The Wings press at 9 minutes, and at 9:54 on a 2-on-1. Larkin buries a cross-ice pass. Kane and Sider with the assists. It's 1-0 Detroit. The Wings then look for another. With 9 minutes left in the period, the shots are already 14-3 for the Wings. The Wings press with 8 minutes left. DeBrincat can't bury one in close. I could have filled the board with that phrase. DeBrincat can't bury one in close. He was snake bit tonight. The Wings press with 2 minutes left. Again, more pushing on a hold by Montembeault. With 1:22 left, the Wings get a power play. So that rolls over to the second period with Detroit up 1-0. The Habs finish the kill early in the second. Then Kapanen's denied on a net drive. Shots are 2-1 Detroit, 4 minutes in. Wings press at 4.5 minutes. Then the Habs get some pressure on the next shift. We get a power play for Montreal. That's killed off. The Habs press at 9.5 minutes. Montreal goes back to the power play. That's killed off as well. And then at 16:29, Caulfield buries a rebound and close to tie the game at 1. The assist to Matheson and Suzuki. With 2:19 left, the Wings get a power play. That's killed off. It's 1-1 after 2. Third period, Habs press at a minute and a half. There's a near miss for Raymond on a breakaway. Shots are 2-0 Habs at 5.5 minutes. The teams trade rushes. And at 10:48, Anderson buries a cross-ice pass. Dvorak and Gallagher with the assists. Montreal has a 2-1 lead. We get a power play for Detroit. That's killed off. The Wings press with 5.5 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 3 minutes left. And at 18:54, Gallagher from in front of his own net hits the empty net. Anderson with the assist. You pull the goalie again, and at 19:07, Suzuki hits the empty net. Evans and Carrier with the assists. Montreal wins this one 4-1. They go to 39-30-9, and really, in all honesty, Montreal only needs 3 points the rest of the way to clinch themselves a playoff spot. Detroit 36-34-7. They needed this one. With this loss, Ottawa clinched a playoff spot. So because Detroit loses in regulation, Ottawa cannot be caught. And so they have a playoff spot cinched up. Shots on net, 23-4 Detroit in the first, 9-7 Detroit in the second, and then 10-4 Montreal in the third. Final shots, 36-21 for the Wings. Power plays, Detroit 0-3, Montreal 0-2. The hits, 26-24 Montreal. Talbot saved 17 out of 19. Montembeault was fantastic when he needed to be, 35 saves on 36 shots. All right, next up, Toronto and Florida. So it's Woll versus Bobrovsky. Things get pushed on a hold by Bobrovsky. Shots are 2-1 in favor of Florida at 3 minutes. Standard Panthers forecheck. And I just had to put that there because every single time I watch a Florida game, I'm impressed by their forechecking. It's a huge part of their game, and so it was impressive again tonight. Panthers press at 5.5 minutes. Forsling has a one-timer that's fired high, and then at 9:26, it's Gustav Forsling opening the scoring. He scores from Lundell. The Panthers look for another. There's a press by Florida with 8.5 minutes left. Barkov has a net drive chance that's saved. Florida really controlling things in the second half. Really, once they got that first goal, they were just skating downhill. Florida presses with a minute and a half left, and they're up 1-0 after the first period. Second period, there's a post for Marner on a rush, and then at 1:06, Tavares scores to make it 1-1. Panthers then look to respond. We get a power play for Florida. That's killed off. Shots are 4-3 for the Panthers at 5 minutes. Panthers press at 8.5 minutes. We get a power play for Toronto. There's a shorthanded breakaway for Marchand. He's denied there. That power play's killed off. It's 1-1 after 2. Third period. Early press by Florida. Forsling has a wrister that's held. And then at 1:04, Luostarinen buries one from the doorstep. I think it was Riley that passed it to him. But that makes it 2-1 Florida. Panthers press for another. Verhaeghe has a net drive that's blocked. Shots are 3-0 Panthers at 4.5 minutes. Things get pushy on a hold by Bobrovsky because that's how this works. You know, guy just takes a poke at a goalie and everybody comes in and tells him, don't you dare. Leafs press at 5 minutes. We get a power play for Toronto. That's killed off. Shots are 3-1 Florida at the half. Just stifling defense, not giving the Leafs much room out there at all tonight. Marchand has a rush that's kicked aside. Matthews is denied from the slot. One of the few times there's a breakdown for Florida. The Leafs press with 3.5 minutes left. Eventually they pull the goalie. And at 19:13, Verhaeghe hits the empty net. The assist to Marchand and Barkov. Florida wins 3-1. They go to 45-29-4. Toronto 47-26-4. With this win, Florida gets themselves a little bit of distance over Ottawa. The shots on net, 14-5 Florida in the first, 14-9 Florida in the second, 9-4 Florida in the third. They outshoot Toronto 37-18. The score really doesn't tell you how this game went. Power plays 0-2 for Toronto, 0-1 for Florida. The hits 43-29 for Florida. Woll kept this close, 34 saves on 36 shots. Bobrovsky not busy, 17 saves on 18 shots. All right, next up. Boston and New Jersey. I almost put the WTF mag down on here, and I thought, nah. And then I almost used it for a different game tonight, and I went, nah. I want to save that for special occasions. So it's Swayman versus Markstrom. I will not rule out using it in the playoffs. Devils press are kept to the outside. 3.5 minutes in, there's no shots on net. Sometimes Boston, New Jersey games start out kind of slow. Lauko has a net feed that's blocked. We get a power play for the Devils. That's killed off. Zadorov has a wrister that's caught and held. And then at 9:38, Pastrnak opens the scoring for Boston. Remarkable goal and point totals being put up by Pastrnak when he really hasn't had a lot of help this year. Good forechecking by Boston. The Bruins press with 9.5 minutes left. Casey to Tatar. There's a near miss at the Boston net. Shots are 9-7 Devils with 6 minutes left. Casey then has a rush chance. That's saved. Geekie has a wrister that's held. The Bruins would get some pressure, and they score. Callahan with his first NHL goal at 19:24. Wotherspoon and Pastrnak with the assists. It's 2-0 Boston after the first period. New Jersey was in a position to clinch a playoff spot, and that first period did not show it. Second period. Early Bruins power play, that's killed off. And then at 3:45, Jacob Lauko scores his first goal since returning to the Bruins. That makes it 3-0. Bewildering and baffling as it may be. Teams trade turnovers. The Bruins press at 5.5 minutes. We get a power play for Boston. That's killed off. The Devils press at 9.5 minutes. They're in the process of getting a power play. And at 13:51 during the delayed call, Nason scores. So power play's taken off the board. Sprong and Heischer with the assists makes it 3-1. And then 19 seconds later, Meyer with a slot shot that deflects in. He scores from Haula. So yeah, at 14:10 it becomes 3-2. The Bruins call a timeout. But I was thinking, all right, so New Jersey, the desperation's in there, the comeback's in there. let's go through the rest. The Devils press with 3 minutes left. Lettieri's denied on a rush. And then in 1907, Middlestad scores to make it 4-2. Lysell and Yoki Harju with the assist. That's Lysell's first point this season. I'm not sure if he had points last season or not, but either way, Lysell on the board. 4-2 Boston after 2. Third period, early jump for the Bruins. Mercer can't bury one in close. The Devils press at a minute and a half. More pressure by the Devils at 3.5 minutes, but at 4:58, Geeky gets his 30th goal of the season. He scores from Pasternak and Zadorov. And then at 6:55, Fraser Minton, who was, of course, traded to Boston in the Carlo trade, he scores from Lettieri and Peak. And then at 10:50, Koepke with a snapshot. He makes it 7-2 for Boston. They score 3 times in like almost about 6 minutes of game action. Just insane. Bruins press with 3.5 minutes left. Lettieri with a near miss on a net drive. It is truly a no mercy game. 7-2 is your final. The Cobra Kai magnets on the board because this was a no mercy game. Boston goes to 32, 38, and 9 with the win. With the loss, New Jersey 41, 30, and 7 on the season. Shots on net, 11-10 Boston in the first, 8-7 Boston in the second, 6-4 Boston in the third. Boston outshoots New Jersey, but it's only 25-21. Power plays 0 for 2 for Boston, 0 for 1 for New Jersey. The hits 24-15 for New Jersey. Swayman saves 19 out of 21. At the other end, Markstrom saves 16 out of 23, and then Jake Allen saved 2 in relief. So I would think some concern maybe in New Jersey at this point in time. All right, next up, last one on this board is Ottawa in Columbus against the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets trying to keep their hopes alive, of course. Forsberg versus Merzlikins. Columbus had the only shot 3 minutes into the game. Fabro has a shot this block. The Sens rush. Teams trade turnovers, and at 7 minutes, on a pass from behind the net, Voronkov scores. Olivier with the assist there. It's 1-0 for Columbus. We get a power play for Ottawa. That's killed off. Columbus presses with 9 minutes left. Shots are 6-5 Columbus with 8 minutes left. Sens press with 5.5 minutes left at 16:38. Danforth goes short side on a rush, and that's from the slot as well. Matejchuk and Corrali with the assists. I've been writing Matejchuk's name on the board a lot lately. It's 2-0 Columbus. With 50.3 seconds left, Columbus then gets a power play, so that rolls over into the second period, and they're already up 2-0. Sens do finish the kill. Columbus presses at 3 minutes. The shots are 4-2 Columbus 4 minutes in. 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Stützle has a rush chance that's saved. We get a power play for Ottawa. That's killed off. Pinto's denied on a rush. There's some pushing and punching on a hold by Elvis, but no penalties, because why? The Sens press. They're kept to the outside. We then get a power play for Ottawa, and they score on it. Zetterlund with his first as a Sen. He buries this one in the crease. Giroux and Chabot with the assists at 16-18. So Ottawa's on the board. It's 2-1. Columbus presses with 2 minutes left, and eventually they do get another one. At 19:38, a puck that goes off Olivier's skate into the net. The assists to Danforth and Goodbranson. It's 3-1 Columbus after 2. Third period. We get a power play for Columbus, and they score on it. At 2:37, Monahan goes bar down from the slot. The assist to Kent Johnson and Werenski. Sens press at 5.5 minutes. We get a power play for Ottawa. That's killed off. Sens press with 9.5 minutes left. At 11:42, though, Fantilli adds an insurance goal for Columbus. He scores from Kent Johnson and Provorov. Then Ottawa would answer. At 15:10, it's Chabot from Batherson and Perron. The Sens would press with 3.5 minutes left, looking to get a little closer, but they don't. Columbus wins 5-2. They go to 35-33-9 with the win. With the loss, Ottawa 42-30-6. But as I mentioned earlier, because Detroit lost tonight, Ottawa's in the playoffs. They have clinched a playoff spot. Shots on net, 11-9 Columbus in the first, 14 apiece in the second, 12-10 in favor of Ottawa in the third. Final shots, both teams had 35. Power plays, Ottawa 1 for 4, Columbus 1 for 2. The hits, 27-23 Ottawa. Forsberg saves 30 out of 35. Merzlikins saves 33 out of 35 at the other end. Good night for him, and he needed that. And let's go to the second board. And we're into the board of ridiculousness. So Chicago and Pittsburgh, to start off the ridiculousness of this board, it's a lot. This is why now I'm going to let you guys in on something. I used to, when I was setting up the boards, I'd put the NHL logo at the top of every game. But recently I've been pulling the NHL logo off so many times to put the other magnets in there that I'm like, I'm not putting the NHL logo up there anymore. Good, because I only needed one of them on this board. So in Chicago-Pittsburgh, it's Knight versus Jarry. Early jump for the Hawks. In fact, shots are 2-0 in favor of Chicago at 3 minutes. Then there's a crossbar for Rinzel, so it looks like Chicago's off to a really good start. Penguins press at 5.5 minutes. The Hawks get some pressure at 7 minutes. Bertuzzi took a puck to the ear. That looks like it hurts. We get a power play for Pittsburgh. I imagine your ear has to ring badly from that. But anyways, Koivunen has a shot that's held. That power play gets killed off. Shots are 6-4 for Pittsburgh with 9 minutes left. We get a press by Pittsburgh with 5.5 minutes left. Crosby has a net drive that saved. There's a post for Graves as the Penguins press. The Hawks press with 1.5 left. Grzelcyk breaks up a 3-on-2 with 22 seconds left. The Penguins go to the power play, and at 19:44, it's Crosby scoring on the power play. Raquel and Rust with the assists. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh after 1. Second period. Crosby has a rush chance that's held. The Hawks press are kept to the outside. Kapanen has a turnover chance that's held. Then at 4:45, Karlsson gets his 200th National Hockey League goal. The assist to Koivunen and Rust. And it was a cross-ice pass and in for Erik Karlsson. Congratulations on 200 goals. Levchinov then has a shot that's shouldered out of play by the goaltender. Shots are 6-3 Penguins at 8.5 minutes. Penguins press with 9 minutes left. Donato has a rush chance that's defended. With 2:02 left, the Hawks go to the power play. That's killed off. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh after 2. Third period, we get a power play for the Penguins. That's killed off. And then at 4:28, Letang scores. He roofs one from the side of the net. Malkin and Timmins with the assists. It's 3-0. The Hawks press at 7 minutes. But then at 7:42, Hayes scores from Heinen and Dewar. Veleno's then denied on a turnover. The Hawks press with 8.5 minutes left. The Pens press with 4 minutes left. And at 18:13, Kevin Hayes scores for Pittsburgh. The assist to Heinen and Achari. That makes it 5-0. With 1:24 left, the Hawks get a power play. They're not able to break the goose egg. It's a 5-0 win. So the Tony the Tiger magnet's at the top because the extermination magnet didn't fit. So I thought, all right, I'll put the extermination magnet at the bottom because 5-0 is an extermination, but I have to put the Tony the Tiger magnet there, not the NHL magnet. So Pittsburgh goes to 32-35-12 with the win. With the loss, Chicago 22-46-10. Shots on net, 11-7 Pittsburgh in the first, 11-8 Pittsburgh in the second, 11-5 Chicago in the third. Final shots 27-26 in favor of Pittsburgh. Power plays Chicago 0-2, Pittsburgh 1-3. The hits 15-7 Pittsburgh. Spencer Knight, rough night for him. 22 saves on 27 shots. Jari saves all 26 for the shutout, and it feels like that's the kind of start that Jari needed as we get ready for the end of the season. All right, next up, the Islanders in Nashville. This is insane. Sorokin versus Annunen. Gatcomb has a chance that's blocked out. Shots are 2-1 Islanders at 3.5 minutes, and at 4:16, Holmstrom opens to scoring for the Islanders. Pulock and Pajot with the assists. The Preds have a 2-on-1 that misfires, but at 6:44, O'Reilly scores from Bunting and Evangelista. Nashville then looks for the lead. The shots are 4-3 Nashville at 8 minutes. At 11:45, Forsberg scores on a turnover, so on his stick and into the net. It's 2-1. Preds then look for another, but at 16:12, it's Bo Horvat scoring for the Islanders to make it 2-2. Pelech and Lee with the assists, and it's 2-2 after 1. Second period, there's a press by Nashville at 1.5 minutes, but at 4:36, Holmstrom, cross-ice pass and in. Holmstrom scores from Pajot and Siplikov. Preds look to respond. We end up with a power play for Nashville, and they score on it. Stamkos from Blankenberg and Marchessault at 7:24. I think Stamkos has had power play goals in his career. Shots are 6-1 Nashville at 7.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Islanders. That's killed off. And 7 seconds after it's done at 12:09, Siplikov scores from Holmstrom and Pajot. So Holmstrom had himself a game. Then at 13:25, McCarron buries one in close to answer. Shea and Marchessault with the assists. There's a press by Nashville with 1.5 minutes left. Siplikov misses an open net, but yeah, a lot of goals in this one. It's 4-4, and it's just after the second period. Third period, the Islanders press at 1.5 minutes. Shots are 2-0 in favor of New York at 3.5 minutes. Fasching has a net drive that's saved. The Islanders press at 6.5 minutes. There's a press by Nashville at 8 minutes. We get a power play for the Islanders. That's killed off. And on a turnover at 15:21, Palmieri buries a backhand. So there's a turnover goal to answer the turnover goal by Forsberg for Nashville in the first period. Now it's 5-4 for the Islanders. We get a power play for Nashville, and it's scored on by the Islanders. Mayfield scores shorthanded on a rush. Holmstrom and Romanov with the assists, so it's 6-4. We then get a parade to the box. There's 1 minute and 16 seconds of 4-on-4. We end up with a 4-on-3 for Nashville, And at 17:53, Stamkos scores a power play goal, his second power play goal of the game. The assist to Marchessault and Forsberg. So now they pull the goalie to make it 5-on-4, because it's 4-on-4 play at this point. And at 19:20, Bunting tips one in to tie the game. Stamkos and Shea with the assists. So we're going to overtime. The overtime, the Islanders control early. There's a post for Holmstrom, and then at 1:56, Svechkov wires one from the slot. The assist to Shea and Stamkos. Nashville with a 7-6 overtime win. The 80s Magnets on the board for a reason. The Nashville Predators go to 28-42-8 with the win. With the overtime loss, the Islanders 34-32-11. And, I mean, the fat lady isn't singing, but she's definitely warmed up. There are a lot of teams right now with 79 points that are chasing that final spot for Montreal. I think there's 4 tied with 79 points. Yeah, Montreal just needs 3 points to knock them all out. Shots on net, 12-8 for the Nashville Predators in the first, 11-5 Nashville in the second, 8-7 for the Islanders in the third, 2-1 Nashville in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 32-22 for Nashville. Power plays, Islanders 0 for 2, Nashville 2 for 3. The hits, 26-21 Islanders. Sorokin, 19 saves on 23 shots. He may very well have not been able to finish the game due to injury. They've overplayed him, though, so that's part of it. Hogberg in relief, 6 saves on 9 shots. Annunen, 16 saves on 22 shots. Ugly stat line, but he gets the win. Speaking of ugly stat lines and getting the win, let's talk about Vancouver and Dallas, shall we? Demko versus DeSmith. Joshua Kentbury won in close. 3.5 minutes in, the Canucks had the only shot on net. The teams trade turnovers. Harley has a rush chance this blocked. Good forechecking by the Canucks at this stage. Canucks press with 8 minutes left, but we get a power play for Dallas, and they score on it. Rantanen with a one-timer from the right circle. Johnston and Harley with the assists at 13:48 to make it 1-0 Dallas. Garland then has a chance this blocker to side. The Stars press with 4 minutes left with 3:57 left. Hronek guilty of a delay of game, and this is a goal for Dallas just before it's over at 18:01. Marchment on a pass from behind the net. He gets the power play marker. Ben and Granlund with the assists. It's 2-0 in favor of Dallas after 1. Second period, early jump for Dallas. Steele has a net drive that's saved by Mancini. So Mancini keeps that out. Didn't feel like that was all that important. Turns out it is. Canucks press at 3 minutes. The Stars press at 5.5 minutes. We then get a power play for Dallas, and they score on it. It is Duchesne this time from Ben and Granlund at 7:28. So 3-0 Dallas, 3 power play markers. Really hitting that penalty kill hard for the Vancouver Canucks. Strong Dallas forechecking. Marchment's denied from the doorstep. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. 3:31 left. Dallas gets a power play. That's killed off. And with 1:27 left, the Canucks get a turn on the power play. So after the second period of play, it's 3-0 for Dallas. Should be fait accompli. But there's a power play rolling over to the third period. And 17 seconds into the third period, DeBrusk isn't messing around. He gets his 13th power play goal of the season. Garland and Hughes with the assists. Vancouver's on the board. Canucks look for another. Vancouver goes back to the power play. It's a 4-minute power play, and 1 minute and 57 seconds into it, at 4:37, Mancini gets his first goal as a Canuck, and it's a power play marker. The assist to Ratu and Carlson. Ratu has suddenly become kind of an interesting prospect if you're looking at next year's fantasy. Stars kill the second 2-minute penalty. Canucks press at 8.5 minutes. Granlund's denied. Demko holds. Canucks press with 5.5 minutes left. The Stars press with 4 minutes left. And at 17:15, Maverick Bourque scores on a pass from behind the net. The assist to Robertson and Ceci, it's 4-2. So the Canucks pull the goalie with 2:35 left. And at 17:39, Granlund hits the empty net. Lindell and Duchesne with the assists. At that point, I took the 4 that I always have I have 1 through 4 on the board every game, just in case I need it and I want to be digging around for it. Took the 4 off the board and put it away. I'm like, you know what? There's 2 minutes and 21 seconds left. It's 5-2 Dallas. They got it. They don't got it. At 19:01, Ratu on a turnover. He scores from Marcus Pettersson. So Ratu with another goal. 19:31, Suter scores from the slot. Garland and Hronek with the assists. Suddenly it's 5-4, and I'm thinking, Dallas can't. I mean, Dallas has had some rough games, even the ones they've won. They can't. They did. 19:54, Suter scores another 6-on-5 goal. Hronek and Hughes with the assists. It's the first time in NHL history that a team has been down 3 goals in the final minute of a game and come back and tied it. And then in overtime, let's get to history. The Canucks control early. Suter has a shot that's saved, but he draws a power play. That's killed off. Dallas does kill off that penalty, but then at 3:44, it's a turnover behind the Dallas net, and Sherwood gets the puck from Garland and puts it into the net. Kiefer Sherwood, with the overtime winner at 3:44, wins this game for Vancouver 6-5. Their flickering playoff hopes are still alive. They go to 36, 29, and 13 with the win. Dallas 50, 22, and 6. I'm going out on a limb and saying they're not catching Winnipeg. I'm going out on a limb. Nope. I don't think, I don't know if they're not interested. I don't know what it is. But good on the Canucks for digging down when they needed to and getting the points. Shots on net, 8-7 Dallas in the first, 12-10 Dallas in the second, 13-8 Vancouver in the third. Vancouver had the only 2 shots of the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots are 32-28 for the Canucks. Power plays, Vancouver 2 for 4, Dallas 3 for 4. The hits, 29-14 for Vancouver. Demko, 23 saves on 27 shots. DeSmith, 26 saves on 32 shots. I guess the Canucks figured out DeSmith late in the game, and it mattered. So there you go. All right, next up, Seattle and Utah. This was the other game where I had the WTF magnet on it briefly, and I thought, nah, these teams are both mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Decord versus Vejmelka. Utah presses at 2.5 minutes, and at 2:44, Sergachev scores for Utah from Stanlund and Dursey. The Kraken look to respond. There's a near miss for Yamamoto and close. Yamamoto now playing for Utah. He used to play in Seattle, so there's that. Kraken press at 6.5 minutes. We get a power play for Utah. That's killed off. Kraken then get a power play of their own. That becomes 4-on-4. Then it becomes a 4-on-3 for Utah, which then becomes a 5-on-3 for Utah, and they score during the 5-on-3. Keller from Sergachev and Gunther at 12:54. He wires it from the right circle. Now, what's interesting is one of these penalties that they're trying to kill off was actually a 4-minute. So during the second 2 minutes of the 4-minute penalty, at 16:28, Yamamoto puts one top shelf from the left circle against his former team to make it 3-0 Utah. The assist to Doan and Cooley. Then in the second period, with the score 3-0, Utah figures just wait. Krause gets one on a turnover from the high slot at 16 seconds. It's 4-0. Decord's played a lot of hockey. I think that's part of what we're seeing here. I think it's not dissimilar from what I'm saying about Sorokin. I'm not saying Sorokin's not hurt, just guys have played a lot. So Asimon has a net feed that's picked off. Power play for Seattle. That becomes 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. Shots are 7-2 Utah at 9 minutes. There's 8 shots for Seattle halfway through the game. 8. So it was tough. In fact, there was 5 through a lot of that second period. It took a while before they got to 8 shots. Then at 11:15, Cooley scores from Gunther and Keller, so it's 5-0. We then get a power play for Seattle. That's killed off. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. We then get a power play for Utah, and they score on it. It's Schmaltz bearing a loose puck behind Decord. It just sneaks through Decord. He puts it in the net. Gunther and Sergachev with the assists at 16:04. Then at 18:06, Michael Carcone gets in on the action. He scores the 7th goal of the game for Utah, and it's only the second period. The assist to Kesselring and Stenlund. So 7-0 after 2. Third period, there's a full Kraken power play to start, and they've got Ostman in the net. And if you're like, who? Yep, basically. Then at 22 seconds, McCann tips one in front of the net on the power play. Burakovsky and Dunn with the assists, so the shutout is broken. It's now 7-1. Krause is denied on a rush. The shots are 4-3 Seattle at 5.5 minutes. Gunther has a net drive chance that's held. The Kraken press with 5 minutes left. We had a fight between Cartier and Krause. That was pretty competitive, unlike the game. Utah presses with 2.5 minutes left, and they win this one pretty easily, 7-1. They go to 36, 30, and 12. Their mathematical odds are still very low, but they're still mathematically alive. Seattle 34, 39, and 6 with the loss tonight. Shots on net. Right, yeah, Utah is still mathematically alive. I mentioned earlier these teams are eliminated. No, they're not. I caught it. You guys in the comments may try to correct me, but I caught myself, so you just wouldn't just delete. All right, shots on net favored Utah the whole way, because of course they did. 15-4 in the first, 14-7 in the second, 12-8 in the third. Final shots 41-19 for Utah. Ouch. Power plays 1 for 4 for Seattle, 3 for 6 for Utah. The hits 22-17 for Seattle. Decord saved 22 out of 29. Ostman saved all 12 shots, I should say, in relief. Vejmelka was not busy, but he was good. 18 saves on 19 shots. All right, last game of the night, and it's Vegas in Colorado against the Avs, and apparently, according to Staffleets, this is the most likely matchup in the conference final. They have 20% chance. I I don't know. We haven't even started the playoffs yet. Anyways, Schmid versus Wedgwood in this one. Early McKinnon chance is denied. Shots are 3-0 for the Avs 2.5 minutes in. They were ready. Vegas starts slow here. Power play for Vegas, that's killed off. Shots are 5-4 for the Avalanche at 6.5 minutes, so Vegas is starting to pick it up. Vegas presses at 8.5 minutes. Then there's a delay game call that gives the Avs the power play, and Vegas scores on it. It is Carlson roofing a cross-ice pass. Riley Smith with the assist at 11 minutes and 10 seconds. This is where the ESPN announcer, the play-by-play announcer whose name's escaping me right now, says that Smith and Carlson seem to have great chemistry because they played together on the original Misfits. That's what I said to the TV, and that's what I'm saying here now. These guys do have great chemistry. It makes total sense for Vegas to bring back Riley Smith exactly for moments like this. Now, Vegas does finish the kill. Avs go back to the power play. That's killed off as well. Colorado had no shots on either of those power plays. Pressed by the Avs in the final minute. Things get pushy on a hold by Schmid in that final minute. It's 1-0 Vegas after one. Second period. At 40 seconds on a turnover, McNabb puts one past a screen from the point. Makes it 2-0 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. Shots are 3-2 for the Avs at 5.5 minutes. Smith has a net feed that's picked off. Hanifin then has a one-timer that's held. The Avs press at 7.5 minutes. McKinnon to Nichushkin near miss as Colorado's starting to pick up some momentum. There's a power play for Colorado. There's also a play where Schmid's glove seems to go into the net while he has the puck. Did he score? And the answer is yes, it's a goal. So it's a power play marker, Nichushkin from McKinnon and Coyle at 9:45, making the score 2-1 in favor of Vegas. Shots are 9-3 for the Avs with 9.5 minutes left. The Avs press with 6.5 minutes left. Dorofiev to Saad, near miss there. The Avs press with 3 minutes left. And at 17:08, VC scores from the inner slot right close to the net there. The assists to Coyle and Wood. So suddenly we have a 2-2 draw. The Avs press for the lead. Lehkonen misses one wide on a fast break. Lehkonen had a lot of opportunities tonight, just not quite going in for him. It's 2-2 after the second. Third period, early press by the Avs. Shots are 2-0 in favor of Colorado 4 minutes in. Avs press, Vegas blocks. Vegas presses at 6.5 minutes. Kelly has a rush chance, that's held. The Avs press at 8.5 minutes. There's a delay game call again by the Avs. By Vegas. The Avs go to the power play. See, and I kept telling myself, okay, your mouth's supposed to say this, and then it says something else. There's a shorthanded chance for Smith that gets kicked aside. So Riley Smith killing penalties very well for Vegas. Then we get 37 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. Lehkonen's denied from the slot, so snake bit. Delay game gives Vegas the power play now. Now Vegas gets the power play. That is killed off. We are going to overtime. In the overtime, Vegas controls early. Smith has a net drive that's held. Makar has a wrister that's held as well. And then Vegas goes on the power play in the final minute of the overtime. They do not score, so we go to the shootout. In the shootout, there's one shot that goes in, belonging to Charlie Coyle. Coyle gets the shootout winner for the Colorado Avalanche. They go to 48-27-4 with the win, with the shootout loss. Vegas 47-22-9. However, by getting a point tonight, Vegas ensures themselves home ice advantage in the first round. Shots on net, 8 apiece in the first, 19-4 Colorado in the second, 6 apiece in the third, and then 3 apiece in the overtime. Final shots, 36-21 Colorado. Power plays, Vegas 0-4, Colorado 1-4. The hits, 27-16 for Colorado. Schmid saved 34 out of 36, and Wedgwood saved 19 out of 21 at the other end. So there you go. You're all caught up on tonight's action. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.